Hello, hello. This is Nina Erjavik, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the U.S. And I am going to show you this amazing product we have here that's going to be available to you on Friday, July 10th at midnight. That is Mountain Time, so 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the morning, obviously. Okay, so this is our platform here. Okay, I'm going to go over it real quick. It has already heated up and preheated. It does take about 6 minutes once you plug it in. This is the platform. And then there is a platform base. This is a cooling mat type of thing. It is silicone. Let me get the instructions out so it tells us exactly what we have. This does come with your foiling machine. So you have your hot platform, which is this hot foil platform. Of course, you get your cords, your electrical cords. Depending on where you are, you'll get the cord that is for that particular country or electrical outlet. Then you have the silicone base platform station, they call it. And then you get 2 shims. You get a hot foiling shim and then a hot foil spacer. So this is the shim, this is the spacer. Yes, this is the spacer shim. Okay, and I'll tell you a tip on that one here shortly. And then you also have the silicone cooling mat, and then you have your magnetic pickup tool. Okay, so all of these come with your system. Okay, so we are going to be using, the foil. It comes in light pink, gold, and silver. Okay, and this works best on a smooth cardstock. So like our two-tone cardstock is perfect. Your designer series paper from Stampin' Up! Is perfect. Vellum, I'm not sure about acetate. I'll have to check up on that one. And then the regular cardstock, it works, but it does not give you a very clean, I didn't do one here, but it doesn't give you a very clean, it looks more vintage and worn. So depending on the look that you're going for, that would be perfect too. Okay, so this has beeped. It has told me that it is ready. So this is your little button here. That is your timer button. Okay, and then, and it says it's blinking, and this is red. It says that it's ready because I know it already beeped for me. You are going to, let's do this one first because this one is the one that I really favor. I'm going to save till last. But here is the light pink foil. I just cut it down. It comes in 2 of these rolls, okay, per box. And then I just cut it down to the size that I needed. And so here is the Sweetly Sentimental. It foils all of these, and then the best thing about this one is it comes with a die, and then it has 2 little score marks, and not score marks, little foil marks that you line this up and it lines up perfectly, so no guessing, which is super amazing. Okay, this is the dies here. Here's my paper that I'm going to use. So it looks like it has kind of like a Teflon finish, I guess was what I want to say. And then here is the dies. So we're just going to take this off of my mat. It comes on paper. These are my magnet sheets from Stampin' Storage. I can always put that a link in the bottom, or if you want that link, let me know. And then here are the dies. So I'm going to go ahead and place this die on here, being careful that this is extremely hot. Okay, and then I'm going to press my timer button. So now the yellow button, or the little yellow light, is flashing. I'm just making sure I'm still going. It's flashing, and it's going to tell me when the die is hot. When the die is hot, we're going to put the foil on, and we're going to also put our cardstock on top of that. You want to kiss your foil to your die, so meaning that the pretty side to the pretty side. Okay, and then you're going to put your paper on top of it, so it's going to look like this. Okay, now the very first time out of the box, this is a funny, the very first time out of the box, I forgot to put the paper on. Imagine that. And this is what it did. So now you can see which die I used first. But this is like a reminder for me to not to forget the paper, okay? This will not transfer on the paper. Your foil will transfer to this. I tried using alcohol, took some of it off, but it's okay. This is going to get foil on it anyway. And there's 2 sides, okay? This one is protected for the most part. Well, mine got foil on it because, of course, it's like that. But anyway, it doesn't hurt your project any. Okay, so once this beeps again, we're going to put the paper or the foil on, pretty side down, onto the die, and the paper. So it already beeped, so it's telling me it's ready. I'm going to put the foil down, so it kind of sucks it in. I'm going to put the paper down. I'm going to put this shim and the spacer. I'm going to unplug the system by just pushing this down and it's magnetic. And then I am going to take it to, I'm going to switch up here. I'm going to take it to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I'm going to move this out of the way for just a bit. And then I'm going to put this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. For short, we can call it our skim. Okay, and we're going to wheel it slowly, not fast like you would normally do your dies. We're going to go slowly so that every inch of that die gets pressure from our machine. Okay, these products have not been tested on any other die cutting machine such as the Big Shot. So if you do try to use it on the Big Shot, because that's what you have, you will void the warranty if something happens. Okay, so that's at your own risk by doing that. Okay, I just wanted to be upfront with you on that one. Okay, so now that it's on my back onto the cooling mat thing, we're going to untake all this apart, lift this up. Now watch the magic. Oh my gosh. Save these because there'll be something else we can do with these. I want to save these because of all the pieces that have not been used. Okay, see these little, I want to call them registration marks, but I'm not quite sure that's the quite terminology for it. But this is where your die will match up. So see those little squares there? You will match those up, and then you will run them with your platform back through your machine here. So I've already done that, so I want to show you what it looks like. Now, before we do that, I do want to show you, this is a magnetic tool. You just pick this up and you put it over here. Remember, that die is extremely hot, so do not pick it up with your fingers. It will burn your fingers. Okay, use this tool. You can get extra tools. People I've been seeing using it, if they drop a die on the floor, they can go across their floor and find it easily because this little tip here is magnetic, and this just releases that die from this thing here. Okay, so now if you want to die cut, or if you want to foil again, you want to plug it back in because it's going to take some time for it to heat up. It won't take as long the second time because the surface is already warm. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside and show you what this die does. It cuts all of these sentiments out. Now I've done them in gold, I've done them in silver, and now I have done them in the light pink. So I just need to cut these out. But isn't that amazing? I mean, all of these sentiments ready to go for you. Now, the hardest part is choosing which one you want to put on your card. So this is amazing. I loved this idea. I'm hoping they come out with more of these. I know there are more things in the works. So they're not telling us much quite yet, but they are telling us that there is more to come. So I'm pretty excited about that. Now, let's go and look at this catalog while this is heating up again. Okay, so this is the catalog that we have, the brochure that we have currently. This should be on the website, but all of this will be on the website, so you will be able to see all of this. But check this out. Look at all this stuff. I mean, it is going to take your handmade cards to the next level. So I am so excited. So look at those cards. Look how amazing. Now you'll be able to see these, like I said, on Friday to show you all these fun things. Now, the next one I want to show you, there is one that I absolutely, and this is cool now. It cools off pretty quick, but obviously you don't want to touch it for a couple minutes. Okay, now let's see what else. Just a tip that I have for you is I did on this here put a little sticky note in here what my base cardstock is, so I'm not always having to measure or always wasting cardstock. So a lot of the things you could use like your scrap bin for, but if you want to do this whole thing here, this is the paper that I did. It's 2.5 by 4 and let's see, 3.5 by 4.5. Yes. Okay, that just helps make my projects go that much quicker. All right, then we have the butterflies. We're going to do the butterflies next. Now, this is what this butterfly one creates, and I'll show you once we heat up here. But check this out. Look how beautiful. Now, here it is plain. Here it is when it's colored. And this is the gold foil. Here is the colored one again. So these butterflies are amazing, and I'll show you the die on this one. Now, to color them, you may be asking, it just beeped and told me we are good to go. Let me find my butterfly here. So this is what we're gonna do. We are gonna put our butterfly flat side down and then push the button. That tells the system that we want to heat up this die, okay? Once it beeps again, this light here will flash, and then the green light will be go, so that we're able to go ahead and go, okay? So we're all set up, we're all ready. Here are the extra dies that you get. This one actually cuts your butterflies out when you're ready. And then here's some butterfly bodies, some extra butterflies. These are not for the heating. These are not for foil. These are just for cutting. Oh, excuse me, for cutting, okay? So let's let this heat up here. Here's what these look like, these dies. Again, I was talking about the cards. I do all of my stamps and I do my stamps differently on a stamp card, but I do all of these for all of my dies. They don't fall off, okay, and they keep them very secure. These are from Stampin' Storage, and they just fit right in here. So that's why I like these, because all of my dies are not falling off in here. Okay, so that's how I do my dies. Okay, so we're waiting for this. The hardest part is waiting, right? Oh my gosh, can you tell I'm excited? Oh gosh, I have been foiling a lot, and you'll see that here. Now I have not put any cards together, so you're not going to see that today, but I wanted to show you the foiling system before it comes out. They have plenty in stock, but this, and it just beeped. But if you want this, which you will want this, believe me, you will want to get it sooner rather than not. It does come with a class. Okay, let's go ahead and put this on here so you can kind of see where your dies are at. I'm going to put this on here like this. The green shim, remember, put your paper on there. And then the spacer, we're going to unplug. Because of space and camera, I'm going to move that aside. Bring up my Stampin' Cut emboss machine. And we are going to put this, now the sides are pretty cool. And of course the handle is cool. And we're just going to put this slowly through our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And please, if you had any questions, put them down in the comments. I will answer them for you. So the sides are pretty cool, so you can see the back side. Okay, we're going to put it back down onto our mat, our silicone platform station, it is called. I'm going to bring this back up here. Take our spacer and our shim off. Grab our paper. Sometimes the paper comes up before the foil, which is okay. And check that out. How cool is that? So now, you all know how to use mask. This one has a mask. Let's get this off of here. Okay, these come with a mask so that it makes it easy to color. Because you're probably thinking to yourself, like I did, and I even read the brochure, right? How are we going to color this without getting it all over? Okay, you're going to use your brushes, your blending brushes, but we have dies, and these dies are fantastic. Let's see, I'm going to show you these real quick. Hopefully this goes not too long, but it is so cool. It's so exciting. Okay, so there are 4 of these masks, and they are numbered up here in the corner. Okay. You want to do 1 first, then 2, then 3. Now this one here is if you want a different color body. Okay, so this one we're just going to, for this one, that is if you're like putting them, if you did whites, like if you cut them out just in white and you're going to freehand it, then that's when you would use your bodies. But we're not going to use the bodies today. So number 1, I'm going to just kind of show you what you do. You are going to place number 1 here, and it's going to cover up. And I hope you can see where I'm at. So can you see? I'm making sure my camera is still working. So you can see that it's masked off the areas we don't want ink. So you would put your 1 color ink on, okay? And I think I did, I'm not sure. You might have to play with it depending on your colors, okay? You might want to do your lightest color first. And then you're going to take it off, and then you're going to go to number 2. And number 2 is going to actually have opened up some detailed. Okay, so this is more detail. So now we're gonna go and match it up on here. Of course my fingers are getting in the way. Okay, and then it's gonna color in. So this is gonna be your next color. Okay, color that in, your next lightest color, and color that in. Okay, and then you're going to lift this off, and then you're gonna get number 3, and you're gonna do the same thing. Now these little V marks at the top here are your aligning marks, okay? So if you draw a little piece of paper, draw the V, trace it, you'll know exactly where to put this one. So this one is number 3, and then this is the bigger highlights. I mean, it's easier once it is stuck down to the paper. I would suggest your white cardstock, a little bit of adhesive on the back just to kind of hold it, or a sticky note or a flag or whatever you want to put on there so that it holds it down. And then this is going to color in the bigger spots here. So that one is Misty Moonlight, this one here. Okay, so and then this is what you're going to create. This is what you'll get, and it'll do it for all 5, 2, 4, 5 of your butterflies. Okay, so play, just get it and play. You will be amazed at the things. It's going to take your card making to the next level. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your die and you're going to die cut them. Once you have colored them, I would highly suggest, unless you like this and you just want those, then cut them out. Okay, cut them out, but color them first. If you're going to color them with the mask, color them before you cut them out. Okay, and then you just run this through your Stampin' Cut and Die machine. Okay, Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, your shim. All right, okay, so that is that one. It's so sorry I'm talking so fast, but there's so much to tell you, and it's just, you'll be able to see all of it on Friday if you want to stay up that late, midnight. Now I don't know if it's Friday midnight in the morning, the 10th, or it's in the evening. So I would check both. I would check at 12, because technically 12 o'clock Mountain Time is our morning of the 10th. So I'm pretty sure that's when it's going to be. So definitely check then. Okay. All right. This is also done in silver. I did it in gold. I did it in pink, the light pink. Okay, let's go on. All right, I forgot to plug it in. Oh, goodness. Okay, just talking. Hopefully it won't take too long. Okay, so at this point, I can't see comments because this is a video and pre-recorded. But if you have any questions from here, from the time I started till now, ask those questions for me and I will definitely look at those questions and answer them for you. So the next one I want to show you is this one. Let me clean up my table here a little bit. Okay. Gosh, how many times did you want a happy birthday foiled that really stood out and really looked like one of those mass-produced cards, right? Well, this, like I said, this is going to take your card making to the next level. So we have happy birthday, get well, thank you, thinking of you, and celebrate. Now, I'm going to show you this one too, but I also want to show you what I've already done. Like I said, I haven't made cards with these yet because I've been too busy foiling, right? Okay, so I'm going to put them down here, but you can see the shine. Can you see that? Gosh, I was just simply blown away. When I seen this in March and they told us we couldn't tell anybody, it was like, oh my goodness. But here is, this is in the light pink, okay? And then this, I actually did on the two-tone cardstock, and this is, yeah, this is Blackberry Bliss, but look how stunning this is on a colored or cardstock. Imagine that. Okay, so how cool. Now this also has dies. So here are the stamps, the foiling dies, and this is the die cutting dies. Okay, you can tell the difference because this one has more of, like I said, a Teflon finish, and this looks more like our regular dies. Okay, all right, so the thing that I've learned about this one, I'll pull out, you definitely want to maybe do one at a time or two at a time. I did two at a time because you need to have space to cut these out. Okay, so this was a trial and error that was definitely an error. So this was a no-go. It's going to take you a little bit to play and learn positioning, which is okay. It does have measurements on the side here. They're very light, so you really can't see them all that well, but you do have the grid marks, so you can always use the grid marks. Okay, so I did do, like, thinking of you and get well, I used a 4.5 inch base, okay, and then the foil I just cut at 6 inches. The Celebrate I did on its own, and that was just a happy accident. I cut this paper down and then I had this piece left over, and so I used it. Get in that scrap bin and use those scraps. I mean, it's amazing what you can get out of your scrap bin, right? White cardstock, Whisper white cardstock, very vanilla cardstock, those are all perfect for this. You'll get a nice clean image. Our regular cardstock, the solid color cardstock that's in our line, it will give you more of a vintage look. Then the two-toned cardstock, obviously you have two colors to each sheet of paper, right? A lighter version and a darker version. And you can use that, and that works perfect. Okay, so we are heated up. Let's go ahead and do, let's do happy birthday. We all need happy birthdays, right? Happy birthday, and let's do a thinking of you. We should be able to get this on there. Okay, and then I have a stack of foil over here. Okay, and then I am going to put it on white. Now, whatever doesn't have a die underneath it will not foil onto the paper. Okay, so I was trying to be really cheap and not waste my foil, but you can use your foil again. I'm going to take this off, and then we're going to run this through our die cutting machine. And I thought, you know, but then I looked at it and it's like, oh, it doesn't even use, if there's nothing raised underneath, it's not going to use it. So technically, you could cut this little piece of foil, say you want to just do one butterfly, you can cut this foil and then use it for one butterfly. It was suggested that we keep these pieces. I don't know why, but I'm keeping all of my pieces, all of the negatives, and all of my scraps I am keeping. Okay, we're going to go through this really slowly. All right, so what are you thinking so far? Tell me, give me hearts, give me thumbs up. I think you are going to love this machine. I'm gonna put this aside here for a second. This is still warm, so we're gonna put this aside, but here's the magic. Ta-da! How amazing! I'm so excited. Okay, let's take these little guys off. We don't want them overcooking. I don't think it'll hurt them, but we don't want them overcooking. I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to plug it back in because I want to show you my absolute favorite die. Okay, this one we're going to go ahead and cut out, and it is pretty easy. And then the thinking of you. Okay, I like to, and you guys all know how to die cut, so really it's just die cutting, right? I like to use these little tabs. Put it down. Let's see if we can cut both of these out. I gave enough space where I think I can cut both of them out at the same time, which I love when that happens. It saves time and energy, right? And leaves more time for our crafting. I thought I had another one. What happened to it? Okay. Try not to get it on your foil. I don't think it would pull it up because it is heat set, but you know, you want to make sure that you're not going to pull it up. And then get your base. So you need number 1, and I know you all know this, but you need number 1, number 2, number 3, which is very well loved, and another number 3 for the top. And we're just going to run this through. Normal speed is fine on this one. Put this on the floor. I think we're done with that for now. And look at this, amazing. All cut out for you, ready to adhere to your card. So, happy birthday. I can't wait to see what else Stampin' Up! Has in store for us, because I know whatever they have in store is going to be awesome. So there it is in gold. Pretty cool, right? Yes, Stampin' Up! We need more colors. Well, I'm hooked. I'm sure all the demonstrators are hooked. And I know you will be too. I'm sure of it. You're welcome. It is so fun. Okay. I am just like ecstatic. These are fine. Okay. Now, once this heats up, I want to show you my absolute favorite. I did not get all of the items that were available to us, and now I wish I had gotten all of them. But I know Christmas is coming around the corner, and I want to see what's coming up, right? Okay, so our system is ready. Now, for my very favorite one of them all, and you'll see why here in a minute. Let me get my foils here already. Is this one here. So we're going to put this on here, making sure not to burn my finger. Excuse me. Okay, so I wanted to show you this on black because this is stunning. Now, my black cardstock has a little white spot there. Just use, because maybe my nail got a hold of it or something, just use your blends and just cover that little bit up. Okay? That way it won't show up underneath your foil. So that little white spot is now gone. It will cover up with the foil, so it will be good. We're flashing yellow, saying it's heating up my die. And what color should we put on this? Let's do, I want to do the gold. Let's see, I've got a gold. Let's do a silver. So this is on the black two-tone cardstock. So it's kind of like a gray on one side and black on the other side. So we're going to do this. I have the gold, and I want to show you the gold here after we do the silver. This is wow. And when I tell you, you only need a sentiment for this particular one, that is all you need. Now I'm checking my camera to make sure it hasn't cut off on me like it did earlier. Okay, so let's see here. We're going to wait a couple more minutes. Oh, there we go. It's ready. Okay, so we're going to put our foil on. Okay, I want the black side, so the black side goes down, and then our shim, and it says hot foil shim on it, and then this one says hot foil spacer. We're gonna just push down. It comes out really easy because it's magnetic. Now, when you have more space and you're not working with a camera, you won't have to move that aside. But so that I can get my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine or shim on in the camera, and then I have to move mine aside for now. Okay, so now we're going to go slow, okay, because we are doing the actual foiling. So this is actually pushing the circular things in here, cylinder things are coming together and pushing the foil, the hot foil, onto your cardstock through via the die. Okay, so that's how that is working. Okay, I'm going to take this up and off. Like I said, the sides are not hot. They're just a little warm, not hot to the touch at all. Okay, but the back side will be hot. Okay, so here is our piece. Look at that. How beautiful. Isn't that cool? Is that a wow or is that a wow? Let me get my die off of here. Now this one doesn't like to slide very easy or pick up very easy. Now it is for some reason, but sometimes it won't. If it isn't, you just slide it or scooch it over. And we're going to let that cool down. I'm going to move this aside here so I can show you some other ones. So here is the silver. Here is the gold, which is my favorite. Okay. You know what? I do want to cut. I do want to hold on for a second thought. I decided I wanted to do one more. Okay. I want to try it and show you. I've not tried it on designer series paper yet, so I want to try it on designer series paper. But here's the silver. Here's the gold on Blackberry Bliss, the dark side of Blackberry Bliss. Here is another one on Blackberry Bliss. Now I did try to cut it down. I thought, okay, if I do a whole sheet and I only want a portion of this, like to die cut it like on a flag or a banner, you can cut it. It's not going to hurt it that I know of. I did cut it and it didn't seem to affect the foiling at all. So that's an okay thing. I like that. And then here it is on, this one is Berry Burst. So this is the pink, the light pink on Berry Burst. How's that coming across on the camera? And here it is on Garden Green. Isn't it stunning? Gosh, so excited. And then here it is on Vellum. And I colored the back with Stampin' Blends. So you can do it on Vellum as well. Okay, excuse me, let me get a drink real quick. How cool is it? This system is like amazing. Okay. This by far is my favorite. I love the sentiments. Don't get me wrong. I love the butterflies. I love them all. But yeah. Then there was one that I'm not going to really show you, but this one is also another stamp set combo. So you have the stamp and you also have the foil piece. Now the piece does this. It does not cut it out. So I do need you to know that. Stampin' Up, I would like to have a die to cut this out. Wouldn't that be amazing? I think I'll send that in to them. But this is gorgeous. I love this. So just like that. And then, of course, you know, my foil got on here, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to use this whole sheet. I'm going to cut this out. You can use pieces of this to tuck in. This is easy to fussy cut if you want to fussy cut it with no die. Okay. So there's that one. That's called Botanical Glow. So this is lovely too. Gosh. Okay, so now we're going to try it on, we're going to try this on DSP. Designer Series paper for those who do not know. And gosh, I don't even know what the name of this one is. Let me check real quick. Let me see if I can get it. Beautiful Ordinary is what this paper is. Okay, so let's do this one more thing and I will let you go. So like I said, put your questions down in the comments. I will definitely read those and answer those for you. This is our new Stampin' Hot Foil System. Okay, so yes, it is pretty amazing. You can get these sheets extra. You can also order extra of the, what do they call this little thing? The magnetic pickup tool. You can order these. You can order the light, so you get 2 of these rolls in one box, okay? So 2 of the light pink, 2 of the gold, 2 of the silver. I don't know if you can see these up here, but they're all lined up here. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Definitely log in. Eastern Standard Time, 2 o'clock in the morning on the 10th. It will be there. All kinds of fun things. There's fun videos. When you buy the system itself, it does come with a class that will air. When did they say that would air? Like at the end of July. I think like July 27th or something. But it will tell you and it will give you a link. It'll send you an email. It'll give you a link to a Facebook group. And then that's where the class will be. So this does include the class. Come January, it will not include the class. And the class is a $30 value. So January, no class. Get it before then and you get the class. There is a video out there where they introduce the system. However, that is not the class. That is just an introduction on what this thing can do. The class, you will actually make projects, okay? That's why they included that, to get to know it a little bit more and what it can do. Okay, we should have just a couple more minutes on this. let's see. I did cut some foil paper to save me time with you guys today. So I did cut the foil and some different cardstock. So I was planning on doing a lot of foiling. So I am ready to foil some more, let me tell you. It is so fun. Okay, so hopefully this is gonna heat up here really quick. Sorry I turned it off. But definitely, if there's something else you want to see, I know this is not live, but I can always do another video and show you what it is that you want to see. But I'm telling you, this was so hard not to tell you guys about this. But look at the alphabets. I did not get the alphabet, and I'm now wishing I did get the alphabet. But see, this is all you have to do with this one. You don't even have to do that much. You can just put just a sentiment on it. Here is this one here where they layered the stamp set on top of the foil die, on top of the foil dyed piece of cardstock. I need to be more clear. So yeah, it is just so amazing. So showstopper cards, oh gosh, yes, every product you make is going to be a showstopper. So I think you guys will love it. Here are some more pictures. There is this one here does come with is a bundle. Personally, I didn't care for the flower myself, but now that I see projects, I'm like, maybe I should have gotten the bundle. I just got this. So you don't have to get the bundle if it comes in a bundle. You can only get the dies if you want just the dies or just the stamps. That just depends on what it is that you want. Let's see. There's some more. Those are the butterflies. Look how pretty. Gosh. And the color combinations for the butterflies is endless. You can do whatever is your favorite color and just do it that way. So fun. So fun. But definitely please put your comments down in the below and the bottom. We're going to see how this one here works with designer series paper. It is a smooth paper, so it should do fine, which is, I know they've done alphabets with the designer series paper and they turn out perfect. I mean, it's so cool. So cool. Okay, so I wish this was alive so I could see what you guys are gonna, what questions you guys have. But this, I would love to be able to do this on a piece of cardstock. But we're not able to do that yet. They're working on it to use our negatives, but wouldn't that be a great opposite background, right? Wouldn't it? To have the solid pieces on a background too? Nice. I am just so excited. Okay, so I don't know. Should we play Jeopardy or Guess Your Best or questions? I'm waiting for this I mistakenly unplugged it and left it unplugged, and I should not have. But you could be putting other stuff, cutting other stuff, making your cards, getting them ready. I have all of these elements now to make fun cards that I just cannot wait. So that's my next step, is to make cards with all the foiled elements that I've just done and that I have been doing for the last 2 weeks. So yeah, so I'm going to pause here for a second, but you know, as soon as I pause, the system will come up and be ready. But I'm going to pause here for a minute just so that you're not waiting. And I will be right back with you. Okay, we are ready. We got the flashing yellow. So we're going to put this down here. We are going to put our foil on here. Let's just do that much. And I think this is going to give us just enough. Yes. Okay, and then we're going to put our shim and our hot foil spacer. And we're going to unplug. And I'm just going to leave it unplugged because I am done foiling for the moment. And then we are going to run this through our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine so that we can set that foil nice and slow. Now usually we just kind of zoom it through. Well, we got to go a little bit slower on this one. Okay, let's close this up. All right, let's bring this back to the table here. These are warm to the touch, but they're not going to burn you. And then let's move that over. Move this out of the way. And we're going to see how our designer series paper did. Okay, so you know what? I did not leave it on long enough, I guess. My system wasn't hot enough, I guess. I don't know what happened there, but I'm going to redo that. Okay, we are ready. So I'm going to put our die on here, and I'm going to hit the little timer button again, and the next time it beeps, it will be hot enough for us to foil our designer series paper. So let's just wait for it to heat up. So excited. I cleaned up while I was waiting. I kind of cleaned up my space a little bit. I'm looking through all the bundles. Gosh. So while we're waiting for that to heat up, look at this grunge one. Look how cool that is and how they actually did this up here. I love that. And then this one here, the shimmering scenes. All of these little flowers in here are gold shimmer. So how cool is that? Let's see. I can't wait to get my hands on this one, which I didn't get. But this one here cuts out these frames. Well, it foils the frames, and then the dies cut the frames out. So all of this void space in here, you save that and use that for a smaller item, like maybe one of these little things that you want to foil. Here is the alphabet here. Gosh. And the Swiss dot. Gosh, I gotta have that one too. So yeah, now you can see what I've been doing. Okay, so we're gonna take our foil, kiss it down, right? I'm going to take our designer series paper. Yes, I have a different paper. It's the same suite. It's just the last time I tried it just didn't kind of work. So I'm not sure if it was because it wasn't hot enough or what the deal was. So let's see if it works this time. Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And then I'm going to take it through here nice and slow. And you don't want to waste too much time for it to go from the platform here to your machine, because if you do, your foil can cool down and then it's not going to adhere. That might have been the problem that I had before, but let's see what it does now and see if it worked. I know it can be done. It's just, yes, it worked this time. I can tell already. Watch this. Ready? Gosh, look at this on designer series paper. Oh my goodness gracious. Look how pretty that is. And then add one of your sentiments on there. And that's all you need, folks. You have, well, you of course want to layer this onto another cardstock, but look how pretty it is on designer series paper. Okay, so that's it. Tell me what you're thinking. Is this going to be on your wish list maybe for Christmas? You never know. Maybe Santa will bring it to you. But let me get this off of here. Let me know what you're thinking or how I can help, what questions I could answer. Yeah, it's just super amazing. I think you're going to have a blast with this. Lots of fun, neat projects. Again, like I said, this one here is my favorite out of all of them. But there we go. Thanks so much for watching. Like I said, put your comments in the comments below. I will definitely answer those, or you can pick up a phone and call me, or you can text me. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and don't forget, Friday morning at noon Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.